So what is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to become a master and an expert at selling life insurance at home. Now, I want to share with you this video because I had a new agent, his first 5 days with us. Right now, it is actually Saturday, but Monday through Friday this week, he sold 9 policies and over $9,000 worth of annual premium by using the same exact script that I want to give to you, by using the same exact framework that I want to give to you, by using the exact questions that I taught him. I'm going to teach you in this video. So if you're a life insurance agent and you want to learn how to make more money by asking better questions and ultimately have a script that actually works, I'm going to give that to you so that you can make more money, provide for your family. In this video, I'm going to teach it all for you so you can learn by the end of this video how to become a master at selling life insurance. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Peter Roberts. I've actually sold over $500,000 worth of final expense premiums on my own pen. I'm going to give you everything that I learned in this video. And ultimately, we have an agency that is right now doing over $500,000 in production per month. And I want to share with you how I teach all my agents that you can have right now as a life insurance agent. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to teach you how to master selling life insurance and become the best agent you can be right now. Let's get it. So let's jump into and teach you how to sell life insurance, okay? This video is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough in your process, okay? So let's go through the full script that I taught this agent that you can also learn as well. So the first thing that I taught this agent is what's called the intro, okay? The intro is really simple. When you're outbound dialing or you're inbound calling, if you're getting inbound calls, the intro is just to give you 30 seconds to find need, okay? For example, Miss Betty, if you're calling outbound, Miss Betty, calling in regards to the request that you sent in on the internet, it shows here that you listed your daughter, as your beneficiary. Is that going to be right? She's going to say yes. Okay, your goal in the intro is to call someone who now is typically has their guard up, to lower their guard, to help them understand that, hey, I filled out something, I have a problem, and this agent is trying to help me, okay? So the goal in the intro is to help them identify that they have what's called a problem, because without a problem, you can't have a solution at the end, okay? So super simple. Direct script that I use is, hey, Miss Betty, this is just Peter. I'm just getting back to you in regards to that request that you sent in on the internet. It shows here you listed your daughter as the beneficiary. Is that right? She's going to say yes. Okay, so the intro is to get your first 30 seconds. Now, step number 2 is going to be the medical section, okay? In your script, you have to have a good medical section, okay? Because the medical section is going to do, number 1, it's going to allow you what product to sell. Okay. Now this is important. Okay. When you're in your medical section, you are going to become what's called like a little doctor. You're going to have to learn all about the medications. You're going to learn have to learn about the medical conditions. Okay. So no matter your skill set, if you're a great agent, you know how to sell, but you don't know how to underwrite, then you are going to struggle. And the reason is because people will sense, if I'm speaking to someone who's trying to find me a life insurance product and they don't know what lisinopril is, or they don't know what atorvastatin is, or they don't know, what hydrochlorothiazide is, then they are going to hang up the phone and be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what's going on. But in this example, the agent was really well versed when it comes to medical underwriting. They knew what COPD was. They knew what a heart attack within 2 years. And ultimately what we use and what I told this agent to use is what's called a toolkit. Okay. Now, if your company doesn't have this, you need to have it. It's a toolkit that allows you to put in medical conditions, that allows you to put in medications that will then spit out the company that you want to go with. Okay. So in this section, you are actually finding the product is what I trained him on. In this section, you're trying to find the best product for them. Okay. Now, what is the best product? Because Miss Betty always wants the best product. Okay. Now, to make the best product, what I taught this agent, at least for our agency, is something with no waiting period. And then 2, something that is going to be like typically most affordable. Okay. Especially if you're selling seniors on a fixed income, they want something where their benefit starts day 1. And they want something that's going to be kind of cheap. Okay. That's what we've seen. So it's important that you then stack your products that can fit that. So if someone has COPD, boom, day 1. That someone has a smoker, boom, great rates, American Amicable. Okay, so this is important that in the medical section, you teach them how to pair their medical conditions with the product that you want to sell. Okay, it's going to create more value when you can go to the offer table, or you can go to presenting your numbers, or you can go by, when it's time to sell them or pitch them options, and you're selling a company with no waiting period compared to a company that would have a waiting period. It is so much easier to sell a company with no waiting period, and that's all learned through the medical section. Okay, so let's move on here. This is really, I'm going to give you guys the 3 sections of the discoveries, and you're going to go into the discovery. The discovery is where you make your sale, is where the sale's made, okay? This is where you make your money, okay? So if you're struggling right now, I'm going to give you guys the 3 questions that this agent used that you can use to make more money, okay? So part 1 of the discovery is going to be, I'm going to put D1, is going to be understanding what is the goal, okay? Okay, so, and what is the goal? What had you motivated? Okay. This is important because you need to identify, why is this person even looking around for life insurance? If you went to Starbucks and you're going there for a coffee and you end up getting a Dunkin' Donuts donut, you'd be like, I did not come here for this donut. Please give me my money back. I don't want this. So our goal as the agent, and what I shared with this independent agent, is number 1 is you need to figure out what is the value. And the value is built around typically like 4 or 5 different scenarios, okay? Scenario 1 that always comes up is cover burial expenses, okay? Number 2 that comes up is add coverage. Number 3 that comes up is no waiting period. And number 4 is, cheaper rate, okay? These are the most common 4 examples that are going to come up, okay? Now, this is important. If you go into your discovery trying to sell Miss Betty a cheaper policy, but you can't find her something cheaper when you give her numbers, is she going to buy? Probably not. But let's say you go and you say, hey, Miss Betty, I'm going to find you something with no waiting period. And at the end, you pitch her something with no waiting period. Do you think she's probably going to buy? Yeah, there's going to be more value for what she's looking for. So you need to actually cater your next questions around what they're looking for. Now, for this example, when it comes to selling life insurance, they typically have a clear goal. This is what we're going to discover in D1, is that they have to have a clear goal. Now, the second thing that they need to have in D2 is that they need to have what's called a clear pain. Okay? Boom. People don't buy just to buy. They need to have, they're trying to buy to change the situation, to kind of, make sure their life's better or get out of pain. These are the reason why people buy. For example, how I share with them is I share with them this question: who would be responsible for paying your burial expenses? Okay? Who would that be? Question number 2 is now identifying the clear pain. Okay. Now I want you to think about pain as a continuum. Okay. It's a number 0 to 10. Okay. Our goal as agents, and as I share with this independent, is to take them from a 0 to a 1 to 2 to a 3 to a 4 to a 5 to a 6 to a 7 to a 10. And then the way that you get them to a 10 is by doing what? You have to ask more questions. Okay. By asking better questions, you can actually move the prospect along your pipeline where they have a more painful situation so that you can present them a solution that's going to solve their problem. So if you're trying to sell someone right now who's at like a level 2 pain, I don't know, I'm just kind of looking around, and you go ahead and pitch them numbers, are they going to buy? Probably not. But if you can then ask them deeper questions, well, why would it be so important for you to maybe have some extra life insurance, Mr. Jimmy? Why is that important to you? Well, my daughter, she's going to be responsible for my burial expenses. Okay. Well, would your daughter be in a position to kind of pay for your burial expenses? No, she wouldn't. Okay, gotcha, she wouldn't. So what would she have to do? So what I'm going to share with you guys here is what's called putting the target on someone's back. Let me build like a little target out here for you. Bullseye, target, I don't know. I'm not good at drawing, but we have to. So question number one is, who would be responsible for paying for your burial expenses? Question number 2, they're going to give you an answer. They're going to say, my wife, okay? They're going to give you that their wife is responsible. They're going to give you a person. Now, our job as the agent to build more pain is then to ask them this, okay? D3 is your wife in a position, can she afford the $15,000 for your burial expenses? Could she afford that? What is the prospect probably going to say? No. Okay. When they say no, that means that they have a pain problem. Then our goal to break that down a little bit deeper is then to dive a little bit deeper. You have to dive deeper, and then you also have to paint the picture. Okay. Because that's not enough pain. That's like a level 4 pain. Oh, my wife, she can't afford it. But how do I turn that 4 into a 6 or to a 4 into an 8? And that's by asking them to dive deeper. Well, what would she have to do, Miss Betty? Like, let's say, if your wife, you passed away and you didn't have the coverage in place, and you mentioned that your wife doesn't have the $15,000, what would she have to do to come up with the money? Now you're concerned. Well, it's going to be really hard for her. It's going to be really hard, they might say. Okay. Does that give us a clear answer? No. So what did I teach the agent? When they say hard, they got to paint the picture. Okay. When you say hard, what do you mean by that? Oh, well, she's going to have to get a loan. Okay. So you're telling me right now, if you passed away without life insurance, that your wife would have to get like a loan to pay for your burial expenses? What am I doing? I'm building the pain by asking better questions. And then the number 4, it'd be like a feel question. Well, Miss Betty, how would that make you feel knowing that you'd have to put your wife in a position to maybe do something like that to get a loan? How would that make you feel? It would make me feel terrible. Okay. It would make you feel terrible. What makes you say that? Okay. So I want you guys to understand this is now building the gap between the problem, now they have all this pain, and the value. Okay, so let me just break this down for you really quick. Number 1, simple, is why. What is the goal? Okay, what is the clear goal? Number 2 is the pain. Who's going to be stuck with the bill? Okay, and then what are they going to do? Can they pay for it? And then you're going to go ahead and then paint the picture. Okay, now number 3 is understanding why haven't they moved forward? Why not now? Okay. Why haven't they moved forward? Because check this out. This client just told you what? They told you they have a problem, right? They have a problem. And they told you how big it is. Big one. It's a big, big problem. But you're trying to figure out why they haven't moved forward. So what you're going to ask them is here. Because if you can figure out why they haven't moved forward, they know they have a problem. They know it's a really big problem. They know that their family's going to be stuck. And you can figure out why they haven't moved forward. Let's say you can help them maybe like not have to go through the challenges that they've experienced in the past. What do you think they're going to do when you give them the numbers? They're probably going to buy. So why haven't you bought now? So the question I'd love to ask is, Miss Betty, it sounds like this is so important to you. I can hear it. It's been on your mind for a long time. What's been really preventing you from like moving forward to maybe putting a solution in place for your daughter? What's been kind of stopping you? She's going to give you typically 3 to 4 answers. She's going to say, oh, the price. Okay, that's common. What does it also tell you? There's probably some objections that are going to come up, but our goal is we built enough pain, we're going to solve that problem. It's a bit of the price. Or, they're also going to say the waiting period. I don't want to wait 2 years. Okay. Or they're going to say like, I don't know, I need to think about, I've been thinking about it. They've been like pushing it off. It's a time delay. Okay. So, or they're going to say, not enough coverage. Okay, whatever they say, not enough. Okay, whatever they say, we have to solve for X. So then what you're going to do is you're going to basically say, oh, I see. Okay, so it's an OIC statement. Oh, I see. So it sounds to me that you've been trying to buy the life insurance, Miss Betty. You want to make sure that if something happens to you, your daughter is taken care of. But the biggest thing that has really been holding you back was like the price. You're on a fixed income, you're on Social Security, but the biggest thing that has prevented you from moving forward is like the price. Is that about right? She's going to say yes. So it sounds to me that you do value X, X being the life insurance. You really do value having this life insurance. It's going to help you, give you the peace of mind. You just need to make sure that you can find something that's comfortable and affordable for you. And then there shouldn't be anything holding you back. Is that what I'm hearing? And then she's going to say yes. So as long as this, Betty, what you're saying is that if we could find you something that really sits in that budget, that really just helps you sleep better at night, there shouldn't be anything from holding you back here today, would there be? And then she's going to say no. Okay, so now that you go into this section, you now kind of are understanding the obstacles or objections that are going to go into your close, okay? Let's push past into the last final section of kind of like presenting the numbers, and something that's really important is understanding, the zombie question. Okay, this zombie question is probably the fourth most important question that you need to have, and I want to break this down to you right now. Okay, Miss Betty, if I could find you something that is nice and comfortable, that would solve your problems, that would make sure that you as a mother aren't, stuck leaving this burden on to your daughter. If I could find you something that would alleviate that worry for you, and we could find a solution for that, would there be anything holding you back from getting you approved here today? Okay, what is she going to say? Now she's then going to give you her final objections. Well, I can't pay for anything today. Okay. So what that means? That means I can get it, but I just can't pay for it today. Well, I need to really speak to my daughter. Okay. Or she might tell you, I need to just look through my budget. Okay. Okay. The zombie question is important because we want to get these guys, these zombies, out of the way now so that they're not coming up in the close. So when Miss Betty tells me here, before I've given her the numbers, because I don't want to give her the numbers yet, but when she tells me, well, I can't pay for it today. Well, Miss Betty, it sounds like if we could find you something that's comfortable and affordable for you, there won't be, anything holding you back. You just got to make sure that you can set this payment out for another date down the road. Is that about right? She's going to say yes. And that is going to alleviate her pain. Another objection is the daughter. Okay, gotcha. So it sounds like you really, if you do find something that you possibly liked, you just would have to speak to your daughter about moving forward. Is that about right? Okay, so then I can heal that objection. Well, Miss Betty, let's say your daughter was here with you right now. Have you guys kind of had a conversation about this life insurance? Okay, yeah, you have. Okay, do you think she would be maybe really opposed or upset at you for getting a life insurance policy that would make sure that she's not stuck with your burial expenses? Do you think she'd be really mad, about that? No, she wouldn't. So it sounds like, no matter your daughter's decision, that you as the mother will still take things into your own hands and make this decision no matter what your daughter says. Is that about right? Boom. She's going to say yes. So then I can overcome these zombies, because if I have too many zombies when it comes to the close, I can't hurdle them. I want to hurdle these zombies now. And that is the goal. So let me just quickly break down to you. This will teach you to become a top life insurance agent on how it works. Let me break it down to start to finish. Number one is the intro. Okay. Number one is intro. Buy that 30 seconds, get them on the phone, help them understand their problem. Okay. Number two is become a medical expert. If you can actually underwrite efficiently, if you can source through products, if you know what carvedilol medications are, you know how to become a professional underwriting, and you're almost like a mini doctor, you're going to win. Okay. Number three is then going into that discovery. Okay. It's also going to help you too in the medical section too, value of the product. And you can actually find good products for people that you aren't going to have the waiting periods. They're not going to be expensive. You are going to make more sales. So become a medical expert too. Number three is all about your discovery. Okay. Your discovery is where your money is made. You have to find the clear why. What is the goal? You have to find the clear pain. This is why they're going to make a decision. Number three, you got to figure out why they haven't moved forward. Why not? Why haven't you moved forward? Then lastly is going to be number four is going to be the zombies. I know you have this problem. If we can find you something, it's like a pre-sale. If we can find you something that's comfortable, affordable, whether there be anything holding you back, get these zombies out of the way here so that when you do the last step, which is number five, is you pitch the options, you want to pitch them all back to the pain. Okay, so let me just end with this here. Miss Betty, the option number 10, the $10,000 is going to do this. It's going to make sure you're going to tie it all back here to your discovery. Remember how she talked about the pain about her daughter being stuck with the burial expenses? You have to explain how this is going to solve this problem, okay? You have to explain how this $10,000 problem, $10,000 plan for let's say $60 a month is going to solve this problem, okay? If she feels like this is worth it, has more value, that is actually going to solve her problem, and she values solving this problem more than the price tag, she's going to buy. Okay, let me clarify that with you. Then when you pitch the 20K option, you need to explain again, how does this 20,000 solve the problem of her previous pain? Well, this is what it's going to do. It's going to make sure all your burial expenses are completely paid for. It's going to make sure that your daughter's not stuck knocking on doors, raising any money, and ultimately your daughter will never have to worry about paying for your funeral expenses. Now, if we can get you approved, that $20,000 coverage will be $85 per month. And then you're going to pitch through the last option, which is the 30K option or whatever your option is. But the most important thing that you need to know and why people buy is because they want to solve problems. So when you can pitch an option that solves problems, you will make more sales. And this is the step-by-step walkthrough of how the script works. And if you can learn how to master this, you will make more money. I promise you, and you will sell more life insurance to close more families, to help more families, and to make more money for yourself. If you guys like videos like this, want more descriptions, please let me know below. This is my training video for the day. Love you guys. Cheers.